should you summon on the Beyond Darkness banner? The definitive answer coming up. Greetings and salutations, killers. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome. Let me know down in the comments. I love meeting new people. We're talking about the Beyond Darkness banner. There's 4 new heroes in it, so let's just jump right in so we can answer the question, should you bother spending your precious orbs on this? So we're going to start off with the first hero that was introduced in it, Lugh. Lugh is a great green caster. Let's take a look at his stats here. He doesn't have a lot of hit points, but when it comes down to it, he's pretty good for a caster. Take a look at that attack. Take a look at that speed. It is simply amazing. His defense is really garbage. His resistance is great, though. He could tank the Reinhardt just by standing there. And even with Moonbow, even with Quick Impulse, even with Death Blow 4, it doesn't matter. He's just swallowing that up. So if you have problems with the Reinhardt, this is a definite counter right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at his default kit. This is the green Serpent Tome that he's got swinging with. It's going to help him with that being initiated on by mages. So if you go ahead and rock that, then it's going to just help out those situations all that much more. Taking a look at the rest of his kit, nothing here it's like ultra impressive. He has a decent A skill as far as that goes in a mirror stance, being able to give him the extra strength and the extra resistance that he's got. He has attack feint in his B slot. This is an interesting skill. Being able to let him buff somebody else so that he could go ahead and keep on helping the party after he's already taken the one big hit to the face is pretty wonderful. And I like having a utility like that in a caster. Now, as far as what you could do with him, here's a quick killer build for you that I want to throw at you. Honestly, I don't do comparisons all the time, but honestly, he's just a better, even if you give her her own weapon refinement, my testing has shown that she's just a better Blade Tome user than Nino is. And honestly, you can leverage extra things with Nino because she has that better Blade Tome variant. You can go ahead and use special Spiral. You can go ahead and give her Moonbow. She's going to proc it on the second hit. You can't do that with Lugh. You don't need to with Lugh. He's still better. So if you're just looking for a Blade Tome hero, this is pretty much the best infantry around now. So that's a thing. Next up we have Sue, a mounted archer. Everybody's like, oh, it's Bravelyn version 2. No, it's not. No, it's not. I hate to spoil it for you. This hero is garbage. I want to say something nice about her, but I really can't. I take that back. She has some okay fodder. Not even good fodder. She has okay fodder. But let's go ahead and take a look at her stats. Not impressive hit points. She's a cavalry unit. Of course, she's not going to have like massive stats. She doesn't even have. She has 149 BST. She has a really great speed. That speed is wonderful. That's like the new norm for high speed anymore, which is a little sad, but whatever. She has mixed bulk, and it is absolutely terrible. Now, you could definitely buff this unit with horsey buffs, but well, hold on a moment. Let's talk about her kit first. He comes with Short Bow Plus. This is a really neat bow that's going to go ahead and give you the Wu Dao effect whenever you proc a special. So you think you might want to have a quick special. You have Moonbow on her as default, so it's the generic thing that you want to put on people. She doesn't have a really high strength score as we saw, so Moonbow is the go-to in this particular regard. Going forward, though, she does have Swift Sparrow too, which is actually really nice fodder, but it's easy to find everywhere else. Her B slot is Chill Defense, and Chill Defense is interesting. It's probably one of the better chill skills that are available out there, but overall, a chill skill always targets somebody who has the most of that. So when it comes down to it, you are losing slightly slower than what you were before against that particular unit. It's there. We could talk later about chill skills. I'm not a huge fan of them, but if you need a source of it, here it is. To round off her kit, though, she does have Hone Speed 4, which is actually probably the most exciting skill here because it's going to give you that arena point buff. It's going to give you a wonderful speed buff to people around, and it acts like a frickin' Hone skill should have to begin with, to be quite frank with you. So that's probably the best thing right there, and it could go in practically any team, so that works out really well. I don't have a killer build to show you, though. I couldn't find anything that I would say, yes, this is what you want to do with Sue. I probably could have spent a little more time on it. Could have theory crafted it more. But when it comes down to it, I'm sorry. If this is just here to pity break you from getting Lugh. That is her purpose. I'm sorry. Next up, we have Thea, another blue flyer. I'm almost getting sick of them at this point in time, especially since this one looks identical to one we already have in the summoning pool. Regardless, though, she does have some good points to her. Taking a look at her stats, she has a wonderful mixed bulk. Not a lot of hit points, but she has wonderful mixed bulk. She has a good speed score, which is interesting for somebody who has this setup that we're talking about. And the attack is okay, but, you know, at that point in time, we're just going to hopefully proc Fire Ignis and get it out of the way. She has Ignis by default, which is really nice. Her Vanguard Plus as a Lance is going to go ahead and buff her defenses whenever she gets attacked. So that's really, really nice there. Continuing the rest of her kit, though, nothing super amazing. You have Steady Posture, too, which is going to go ahead and add to speed and defense whenever you're attacked. And you also have a new skill in this particular case, a Seal Speed and Defense, which is actually nice, but it's not helping her. So, I mean, when it comes down to it in consideration of this character, it's sort of a eh. Not to talk down on Seal Speed and Defense. It's a good skill. It's just it's not helping us out here at all. And it's not a huge draw to want to pull her either. However, because of her mixed bulk, she actually can basically take a Baruka kit very well. And what I'm talking about is you can keep her base lance if you want to sort of make up the difference in defense and hit points because you're really lacking in that category. Make sure you refine it. And then just go ahead and give her guard. Give her whatever best A slot you got to give her more defense. If it's fortress defense, that's fine. If it's a fortress defense res, even better because she has great resistance in this particular category here. She has high speed. She's not going to get doubled very easily. And here's the thing. A well-built Baruka who's supported and is on a defensive tile could just take no damage from red. Cute trick. She could sort of do the same without the defensive tile and with a little less support, even though her hit points don't matter as much on the incoming hit, even though her defense is lower. It's actually a really nice unit to have if you want to have a nice defensive flying wall and don't want to rely on Sapphire Lance or something like that. She's actually quite useful. So she has a role that she can fulfill, which at least is a nice thing since we have so many freaking blue flyers. This is what you really wanted to know. Let's talk about Idunn. Now, she is quite incredible. She has her own unique breath weapon. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Let's take a look at her stats, though. She is set up to just be a wall. It's quite impressive. She has that middling speed that we see on a lot of different units anymore, but she has an okay resistance, a really good defense. Not great hit points for an armor unit, but honestly all the stats are something that are at least acceptable, if not better than that. If you go ahead and add, oh, important, she's 179 BST. She has 2 super assets, both in defense and resistance. You're welcome. So, after that, though, if you take a look at the rest of her kit here, I said that she has that unique breath weapon, demonic breath. What this is going to do for you is if you are affected by some type of negative effect, you're going to go ahead and get yourself +4 to all your stats, and you're going to waive all negative modifiers to your abilities. It's wonderful. I love it. That's a nice little saving grace. Unfortunately, since she doesn't have any ultra stellar stats, you need to have that active more often than not, which means it's completely dependent upon your enemy being able to put that status effect on you. Otherwise, you could just plink on somebody who's going to go ahead and just like tink, yeah, do a little bit of damage to you, but not a lot. But you don't 100% get to control that either, so it's a little tricky. You could try to cheese it and put something like Fury on her, but we're not going that route at all here. Taking a look at the rest of her kit, the reason why we're not going that route is because you could already see it. She has fortified defense and resistance. Second unit as of release that has been given this skill. It's great. It doesn't reduce your attack by very much, and it gives you that wonderful pop to both defense and resistance. Vengeful Fighter, yeah, she's meant to go ahead and just take all the attacks. Just put her up front and let her keep on getting hit. She can't do that all day, but pretty close. She has War Dragons in the C slot, and I forgot to mention, sorry, she does have Bonfire. That's going to be proccing for her, and it's actually a really good skill to have. But let's go ahead and talk about two things. One, I want to show you a killer build, and then we're going to talk about comparisons to some obvious things that we just want to know. So this particular killer build here it's wonderful. It's going to just eat everything that comes to her. And switching up to Ignis is important. You want to give her the Ignis, because that way you're going to be able to recoup a couple of different fights in the corners that would actually otherwise escape you. They wouldn't kill you. So I mean, it's a safe bet to just ignore it if you're like, oh, math doesn't add up. Well, you know what? Once you start theory crafting things, you're going to want to have Ignis. Trust me. The rest of the kit, I mean, it's not anything really special here. I'm sorry, that was terrible. I tried too hard. I'm not cutting that joke out, though. As Special Fighter, go ahead and burn an Ephraim or someone for it, and then go ahead and give her a quick riposte. It's going to let her attack and retaliate that way. You could go ahead and go up to Aether if you want, so that she can recover hit points. It's going to be very useful. If you want the most pop immediately, Ignis is what you're going to want to do. And this setup is great because Halloween Myrrh does not have an amazing win ratio whenever you are putting her on the defensive. I have a video for Halloween Myrrh, both offensive and defensive. Go ahead and take a look at those up there in the card now, or at the end screen here in a moment. The idea is that her initiation is not there, whereas Halloween Myrrh's is. Halloween Myrrh doesn't have good defense, whereas Idunn has really good defense. So when it comes down to it, I was really afraid that Halloween Myrrh is just going to overshadow Idunn, and I don't believe that's the case. I think they could both coexist. I think you wouldn't necessarily want them both on your same team, but you could have them both there. So overall, do I think you should pull on this banner? If you are having troubles with people like Surtur or Reinhardt, or even if you're having troubles with other red units like Ira and the like, there's a lot of units here that you could pick up that are going to do well for you. If you already have answers to all of those, though, maybe go ahead and spend your free orbs on Idunn, and that's about it, because there's nothing else here that is a must-have. Idunn is not broken, but is super powerful. The other units actually fit. If you get two of the other three, sorry Sue, then you're going to do really well for yourself, and you're going to be happy with them, but they don't have the base kit or even the stats to make you go, yes, I need to have one of those. So when it comes down to it, should you pull? Like I said, it depends if you have answers for those other threats or not. So do me a favor, let me know, are you going to pull? Put it down in the comments, and if you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.